The film appears at night in a forest, where two men are hiding, one of whom hears a noise and takes his knife to check what is going on. Suddenly he was attacked by strange animals. While they were chasing them, the young man called number 3 tried to escape, but they were caught by the leader, and his necklace was snatched, and the young man turned into dust. The commander puts the necklace around his neck along with several of them, suggesting that the young man was not the first victim. We move on to John Smithy number 4, who was having fun with his friends. In the evening, while he was swimming with one of the girls, his leg began to glow and he cried out in pain as he saw number 3, who warned him of imminent danger. People see him and they laugh at him for acting strange, so John wakes up on the beach and a man named Henri joins him. Number 4 and John had superpowers and each had someone to protect him from mortal danger. Henri is John's protector. He notices the wound on his leg and realizes that number 3 is dead. As a result, he quickly took John and left the hut, burning all the pictures of John with his friends before they left. During the trip, John states that he and 8 other children with superpowers have escaped from the planet Lorien after it was invaded by the people we saw earlier, and since these killers must kill children in ascending order, the scars on his leg indicate that they killed number 1, 2, and 3. And now John is the next target. Henri gives him a new identity, telling him he must remain incognito. They decided to move to an old house in Paradise, Ohio in order to be safe, and there he saw a poster of NFL star Bernie Kosar. Secretly followed home by a lizard, Henri tries to completely remove John from social media so the killers can't track him. But suddenly he hears a strange noise outside the house and the lizard turns into a dog. John keeps the dog and names him Bernie Kosar. At first, Henri refuses to keep the dog, but he assures him that it is just a dog that will not pose any threat to them. Later in the evening, unbeknownst to John, Henri hides a mysterious box inside the wall clock. It turns out that the box belongs to John and was left to him by his father before he died, but John will take it in time. Meanwhile, number 6 arrived at the hut to look for John, but she did not find anyone, so she burned the hut and it turns out that the girl is not affected by the fire. The next morning John changed his mind and insisted on going to school, so Henri handed him a phone. When he got to school the dog followed him. While waiting for lessons, he notices Sarah in the principal's office because she secretly filmed a teacher. He felt attracted to her. The employee orders Sarah to accompany John to show him where his locker is. At that time Henri calls him to check on him, but he doesn't answer. Mark and his friends approach John and introduce themselves. When the bully Mark gets away, John sees him hitting a boy named Sam and throwing a skateboard at him. John returns his skateboard to him and befriends him. After school, John notices that Mark is again bullying Sam. He gets angry and picks up a ball and throws it violently at one of his teammates. He discovers that Sarah is interested in him and secretly films him from a distance. That evening he discovers a website where Sarah keeps all of her pictures, including a photo album of him, so Henri deletes all of John's pictures so that no one can see them. Meanwhile, the killers discover that number 4 is still alive after examining the burning shack. The next day in class, June's hands start emitting a powerful beam. Henri senses something when he notices the same light in the watch, so he goes to school immediately. John runs away in panic and tries to turn off the light. Henri arrives and reassures him, explaining that the light means his superpowers will begin to manifest. When they arrive home, Henri tells him that he will get stronger and faster and that he must learn to control his powers. He also told him that he couldn't go back to school until he learned how to control his power. John runs away from home and tests his strength by throwing a stone across the ozone layer and making impressive leaps. Meanwhile, the leader of the assassins buys whatever he finds in the grocery store and feeds it to the big, weird monsters. John meets Sarah on the street and takes her for a walk, where he notices Sam and his stepmother there. Sarah invites him to her home and introduces him to her family. They told him that Sarah was very interested in photography and encouraged her to go to the festival in town. After dinner he went to her room and she showed him her photo book. Unfortunately, his dog shows up unexpectedly outside the house and barks incessantly, forcing him to leave. We see the bully boys jealously watching him as he walks away. The next day, Sam asked him what had happened to his hands in class, but he refused to speak. While Sam advises him to avoid Sarah, the pink paint that Mark previously put in their lockers explodes. The paint ruins Sam's picture with his father, so he gets angry and moves to fight them. June's hand starts to glow, but he manages to keep his cool and walks away. While cleaning themselves in the bathroom, Sam tells John about his real father, who was obsessed with aliens and mysteriously disappeared. He says aliens abducted his father. John notices Sarah in the hallway, but tries to avoid her. Henri has been researching Sam's father and visits an old factory where Sam's father did tests. He discovers a mysterious mark on the pillar and a strange glowing rock on the ground known as a locator, so he takes it home and starts studying it. At this time John was in his room when he received an invitation from Sarah to attend the festival. During the festival, Sarah reveals that she was in a relationship with Mark and that Mark intentionally leaked all their secrets to everyone after their breakup. While they are walking around, Mark and his friends attack them and start beating John, while one of them kidnaps Sarah and takes her to Mark. While Sam secretly watches them, John is forced to use his power. He saves Sarah and almost breaks Mark's hand, then he escorts Sarah home and kisses her. He realizes that he became stronger when he broke the streetlight with his palm. He visits Sam's house, reveals his true origins, and assures him that his father was right all along. He warns him not to tell anyone as it could put him in danger, and Sam agrees. The next day, the mayor of the town arrives and it turns out that he is Mark's father at John's house, and he questioned him and accused him of attacking his son, but John denied this, claiming that he did not notice. Henri feels proud that John used to be in control of his abilities. After a while, a video of John screaming in pain in the ocean goes viral, so Henri advises him to leave because he can't delete the video, but because John has fallen in love with Sarah, he refuses to leave and disobeys his orders, so they have a short fight. Moments later, Henri is kidnapped, and John has to go to a specific place to save him. He is traveling with Sam to the destination. When they arrive, he orders Sam to follow a man. While he sneaked into the house, he found many newspaper articles about missing persons. In the end, he finds Henri, who cannot move. It is revealed that the kidnappers were sent by aliens. Suddenly, a winged alien bursts through the door and attacks them, while Sam and John escape and Henri confronts the alien. Sam loses the car keys and John uses his power to start it up, but before they leave, the alien appears and stabs Henri in the chest. As they escape, Henri hands John his own knife, explaining that Sam's father used the rock to search for the surviving children of Lorien. He orders John to find people like him before he dies because their combined power will be enough to stop the aliens. After the aliens fail to capture John, they reach their men's house and killed them because of their failure. Meanwhile, the mayor of the town arrives at John's house and announces that he is a terrorist. Sarah becomes suspicious of him and asks him about his identity. While driving, Sam admits that he has another fragment of the rock that his father discovered while searching for aliens in Mexico, while Sam searches with Bernie, who helps him find the hidden rock. John stops by Sarah's house to say goodbye, but the cops arrive and hide with Sarah on the roof. Sarah falls off the roof, but he uses his power to save her. He shows his skills again when he has to pull over a police car. The two run away from the police and go to school. Meanwhile, the aliens arrive with a convoy of trucks and confront Mark and his father. The leader orders Mark to take them to John. Sam tells John that aliens have surrounded the school, while the two try to escape. Number 6, known as Jane, appears with her own weapon and helps him fight off the aliens. Bernie the dog turns into a monster. Eventually the two are reunited, but a monster appears and wreaks havoc within the school. Bernie appears and helps John fight off the monster and defeats the flying lizard after a long battle, but is seriously injured. In the end, he turns back into a cute dog. A struggling Jane asks John to charge her with his light, and the two begin to battle the monsters, eventually destroying them. They run where the chief and another monster are waiting for them. They kill the guards thanks to their skills, but Jane was about to be killed, so John helped her, and the leader was eventually killed by the explosion, but they survived the explosion thanks to Jane's ability to resist fire. The next day they stick together the blue rocks and find the rest of the children of planet Lorien. Mark appears and gives John Henry's strange box. Sam joins the team and John kisses Sarah. An injured Bernie arrives and they all flee town. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this.